Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchant here with your outlook for December 29th, 2017. For your Friday, going to be cloudy this morning in most areas, mostly cloudy far southeast, but cloudy skies with a weak wave that's going to be off to our northwest. Could provide a few snow flurries. Wouldn't get too excited about this during the day, though. This is just a very weak and dying wave. As soon as we get done with past the morning, skies will start to clear out a bit, and we return to partly cloudy skies by the end of the day. So this is just a morning thing, probably early morning. We're expecting the clouds to hang around this morning before the decrease in clouds this afternoon. And let's go to the NAM high-res future simulated radar just to give you an idea here. It's not even really showing up there too much, but across the mainly interior parts of Pennsylvania here, from 3 o'clock in the morning onward, looks like there could be an opportunity for a few snow showers or lights. These are just flurries, not snow showers, just a few flurries moving through. And you can see that here, very widely scattered, not a big deal. We'll come back to this radar here in a second as we get the next system moving in, which is our Clipper system. This is the one we have a snow map out for on the weather alerts page. It seems kind of silly to put out snow maps for just an inch or two. And of course we fielded some of those comments, but we are a business and we have to forecast for other businesses and other clients. And we do have snowplow clients that do rely on this information that even an inch is good enough to go out and salt or clear roads. So this is important information that we need to disseminate. So big or small, we have to do the same kind of thing. Here's a look at Friday evening. We're going to have those again. We're going to turn partly cloudy by the end of the day, but then we're going to get the clouds are going to quickly increase again because we have this other system moving in pretty quickly from the west, and you can see that here moving in through the Ohio Valley. This is the overnight period. I think once we get into the wee hours of the morning, and we're talking like 3 o'clock in the morning onward, from west to east, we can start seeing some snow coming into the area. Now there will be some dry air in place initially, so you could see some virga early on if you're up at early in the morning. And you're not seeing, you might look at the radar and say, oh wow, it's snowing, and then it's not doing anything outside. Well, that's because you have a lot of dry air in place, and so it's going to be fighting dry air initially. I don't think it's going to be fighting too much though, because this is coming in at a prime time where dew points are typically higher, so it'll be easier for that air to get saturated once the snow does start falling through that column. And it won't take much to really get it saturated. So dry air initially might be overcoming that, but then that will be halting that, and then we'll be overcome by the snow once it starts to fall. And then here's a look at Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon starts to wind down. Saturday evening, this is already out of here, so it's probably going to be ending probably early afternoon or there, about early to mid-afternoon. I would say would be a good time frame to say that it's going to end. Very light accumulations here, not expecting too much. But go back to the NAM Future Simulator Radar, and this is starting off at 1 o'clock in the morning. You can see this activity just moving across from west to east. So here's 4, 5, 6, and here's 7 a.m. So you can see much of the area except for far eastern New Jersey by this point is seeing snow, or at least snow falling on radar. Again, far eastern areas, it might take a little bit before it starts to saturate the air enough to fall through those, fall all the way to the ground. Here's 10 a.m. then, and then by the time we get to 1, this is about ready to wind down, because here's 4. We just have a few individual clusters of snow showers left at that point, and that's it. So it should be winding down here again early to mid-afternoon. Total snowfall. Now we have our map out on the weather alerts. Is going to be a little bit more detail for this. The reason I'm showing you this is just to give you an idea. I know the snow maps here are not showing much. These grays here, the medium, or this color gray, that's right in here. These are all a 1 to 2 inch area that's shown on the map. Now we have a very big area that has 1 to 2 inches, and the reason we did that is because snow ratios are going to be very high. So if you go up to where the snow grows, the dendritic snow growth zone, it's called the dendritic snow growth zone, and it's where basically where the crystals are made, the snow crystals are made, and at what level. So it's a little bit above 10,000 feet where that occurs. So from that level of 10,000 feet or thereabout, all the way down to the surface, it is very cold, and I'm talking about well below zero. So, and we combine that with little wind, you're going to have some really fluffy flakes and dry powdery snow that accumulates at a quicker rate than if it was wet snow. So that's the whole idea here. So you can take these snow maps here and double the amounts that are shown on here, because that's what kind of ratios we're dealing with. Instead of 10 to 1 or 20 to 1, for this event. So going further from this point, again, you go into weather alerts and see our map and you get a better idea of what that is. I did want to touch on the late week system. We are going to get very brutally cold New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Highs are going to most likely be in the teens in most locations, and then in the single digits to near zero in others, and that's going to be on New Year's Eve and again New Year's Day night, which is the following night. And then after that, we remain cold for the rest of the week and dry. So we're expecting dry conditions all the way up until about Wednesday. Now, once we get to later in the day here on Wednesday, we have a system off to the north here. Okay? And then at the same time, we have a system that's going to be down here off the southeastern U.S. coastline. Now, question is, how close does this get? Now, the European model had this thing really wrapped up here, right about here, and then heading up in this direction like this. Gave one heck of a snowstorm up here for New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. We're not ready to jump on that idea just yet, but there is a signal there, and this is a signal we've outlined in our long-range outlook for quite some time. We like this period, but these periods or signals don't always produce, and the GFS is not thrilled with this, and or hasn't been. And this is the earlier run today that this is the closest this got, and it comes close here, but that's about it. Okay, and nothing really happens here, but you will see an increase in clouds on Wednesday. Question marks are going to remain whether or not we get snow Wednesday night and Thursday. That remains to be seen, and it's something that we're going to have to adjust on the fly as we go forward. Why are the models so back and forth with this? Well, it's not really so much the models themselves, but we have foreign versus domestic models that are really not agreeing with each other. It's all how they handle this energy, and each one of these models have a different set of algorithms that each one uses. European model is typically better with these systems, but it does not mean it's a slam dunk. The European model is not always a slam dunk, so I don't want to get anybody alarmed thinking we're going to get this major snowstorm like the European model was showing during the day on Thursday. And this is recorded before the overnight run, so I don't know if it's going to do this again, but it had, for 2 straight runs, it had a pretty good storm sitting right about here, and then you had one heck of a snowstorm, and it was moving pretty fast, thankfully, or else this would have been really bad. But it did have a very sizable storm that is on the table, but so is a miss out in this direction, complete miss, and we're not really favoring one or the other right now, so we're going to keep low chance mentions of snow in the forecast. In your local forecast, you'll see chance for snow or snow showers, and it's about a 40% chance right now. That's all we're going to go, and then we'll adjust during the week as we get a little bit closer and gain confidence one way or another, whether it's going to be a big snow event, maybe just a graze, a slight snow event here, or a miss altogether. All three are still possible. I'm Eastern PA with a 30 meteorologist, Bobby Marcher. So that is your outlook for December 29th, 2017. Have a great Friday.